Yeah, hey, good friend of the program is back on, and it's nice to see him not under so much pressure and scrutiny and stress. He was running for mayor here of Toronto, and I know we speak to this great nation, and we speak to the United States too. We're going to speak about a global issue today, but I want to offer him kudos and congrats again for such a wonderful campaign about 4 or 5 months ago that you put on, finishing fourth in the mayoral race here for Toronto. Nice to see you again, Ari Goldkind.
Great to be on with you guys. Always happy to be in studio with you. It's amusing, and I think we're going to talk about something serious today, but I'm already smiling looking at you, so I don't know how serious I'll be.
I just want to take the opportunity to congratulate Ari here on his hit film Entourage coming out on Friday. $17.4 million opening. Congratulations.
That's right, Ari Gold.
As we said earlier, you're the kind of the Ari Gold.
That's
that
right.
Ari Gold
That's
is not
right.
very kind.
I need the hair work that Mr. Pivens had. That's when I watch that show, I always think to myself, the greatest work in the history of mankind.
I think Matthew McConaughey might have him beat.
No, Pivens got him beat. Because Matthew McConaughey we're not sure of.
No, I am. You remember, he was the lawyer was he the lawyer in A Time to Kill?
Yes.
Matthew, look at that movie, dude. He was losing it at a very young age. And all of a sudden, like, he just, like, if you see him in Interstellar, he looks stellar. Like,
I just heard your ad for the hot tub, got excited, then heard ED, got sad, now talking about plugs, now worried. So
I'm starting to recede. Maybe that's my next one.
No, you're not. You wear hats.
Well, yeah, you'll never notice, but I am. I'm starting to recede a little bit. And Jay's just cutting himself.
Yeah, God is my new barber. Right?
Yeah, cheapest barber ever, though, right?
Cheapest barber ever. Also a big bastard about it. So
how's that? How things going since you run for mayor? Everyone thought it was kind of a joke, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, "Oh my goodness, man! This guy's making points, and he understands what to do with the entire TTC system here in Toronto. And my goodness, he's come with like all these perfect plans into place, and with backing and studies, and what a great team around him. You finished fourth. Has your life changed since that day?
Very significantly, both politically, in terms of relationships I have now, in terms of what I do next, and what may be coming up soon or in a few years or in a few months. So that's been very exciting, and meeting after meeting. In my job, it led to a completely different level of respect, where people said, well, wait a minute, this guy isn't just a criminal defense lawyer. He's actually standing up, as you said, where people said, oh, this must be a joke. And, you can go through the series of issues that even you talked about, TTC, police, mentally ill people, not to be serious for a moment, but all these things that people think about, talk about at their dinner table, but no politician/leader dares talk about out loud. My mission was to talk about these things out loud, and I'm doing much more media work now, different TV stations. Yesterday with John Tory's announcement, doing all sorts of interviews here today to talk about that stuff. So my life has changed very significantly, even being recognized in the subway, which continues to be very weird. No, and I appreciate that. I just did a long interview yesterday about, for your viewers all over North America. In Toronto, policing is really a big issue here, about this issue of carding and stopping usually black people when they've done nothing wrong. They're going to school, they're going to their work, even though the issue that's never talked about is the statistics of who commits crimes in the city, what races, ethnicities. Nobody's allowed to talk about that, because if you do even ask a question about that, you're called the R word. That's a concern. But to what you were saying about politicians, yesterday somebody said to me, well, isn't this a flip-flop? Which is a term we all know from George Bush, and flip-flop and U.S. Politics.
I just know it because I can't wait for an 18-degree day.
I was just going to say, because summer is going to come here sometime by August here in Toronto. Yeah. But some people were knocking him for changing his mind. He was for something, and then because he listened to a lot of people, John Tory, the mayor of Toronto, who I have a lot of respect for, he changed his mind. So anti-social media blows up with people going, he's a flip. Wait a minute. Adults, grown-up people change their minds. I don't understand this premium we as a society put on stubbornness. If you think
divorce rates don't prove that at all.
No, well, that's you can't talk about that now. Don't get me started on.
You can't
I'm in
talk
great
about,
shape. That's right. So we're not going there.
I'll be in great shape.
If you follow, and any of your viewers throughout Canada, United States, you turn on CNN. If a politician changes his or her mind, they're viewed as weak. They're not viewed as having
disgusting.
It's the stupidest thing ever. If you're having a debate with somebody and somebody presents you an argument that you hadn't thought of, that was well researched, that God forbid is supported by facts, the most adult, the most respectable thing you could do is say, you know what? I was wrong. I've learned something. I'm changing my mind.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Ari. Ari Goldkind is here. Well, what a dude. Why do people who are so strong-minded, so in power, not have the ability to take this step back and understand that if we don't make decisions a little bit differently after hearing all the facts and new results come out, things change, trends change, we will never evolve.
Yeah.
It is impossible to evolve by having one view and only one view. It drives me fucking nuts.
And so here's a big part of it, which, as I said, being very focused on where anybody listening to this is listening, the issue of money in politics, which is not talked about really enough. And I learned all about this last year. One of the reasons people won't change their mind is not only because they don't have the moral compass to actually listen to other people. It's that they know if they change their mind, they will lose the financial backing and the support of all the people who put them on the pedestal. And you look at the U.S. election is a year and 3 months away. But, Jay, like you go on CNN right now, there's 17 new Republicans announcing every day. But half of them stand for these moronic platforms that, the Southern Baptist, pro-machine gun into Starbucks crowd.
It's 50% of them, too. It's crazy.
It's crazy. But if you change your mind, you're going to lose that who brings you to the dance. If money was sort of reduced in all this and a politician could actually stand up and lead. I mean, it's such a weird word. We use the term lead. Who leads anymore? It's basically people putting, we're on radio, but you can imagine I'm putting my finger in my tongue and putting it up to the wind and seeing which way the electorate wants to. Well, that's not leading. That's basically puckering up and saying, I want to be elected so bad that I'm going to say anything to please you. To me, that's the reason that we go backwards, not only in this city, but throughout North America, which, as you know, Todd, is not in many ways going in the right direction.
Hey, I'm Jay Brody. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave a comment. We read the best ones on the air.